Hello, everyone. We are thrilled to announce the launch of our new record label, THSA Records.
That's right, Elaine. THSA Records stands for The Holy Spirit Abides, and we are an independent record label focused on uplifting Christian, gospel, and inspirational music.
You know, as an independent artist ourselves, we understand the struggles that come with getting your music out there. That's why we created THSA Records to offer artists development, music distribution, recording, production, branding, and so much more.
We are also proud to be a Black-owned and woman-owned business with a mission to empower and support independent artists.
At THSA Records, we believe that music has the power to change lives, and we want to create a platform for artists to share their music with the world.
Whether you're a new artist looking to break into the industry or an established artist looking for a new home, we are here for you.
We are excited to announce that we already have several talented artists on our roster, and we can't wait to share their music with you.
So, if you're an independent artist looking for support and guidance in your music career, come join us at THSA Records. Let's make some beautiful music together. Hello, I'm Katrice Cornett, and I'm here to invite you to participate in the Raise Your Mic Gospel, Christian, and Inspirational Singers and Songwriters Music Challenge.
Hi, I'm Elaine Sanders Mayfield, and I just want to give you some guidelines of who's eligible. The challenge is open to gospel, Christian, and inspirational singers and songwriters. Participants must have a valid email address to submit their entries. All participants must submit a video of themselves performing an a cappella piece. The video should be 1 minute or less in length. The email subject line should include the participant's name and Raise Your Mic challenge entry. All submitted videos will be uploaded to the THSA Records YouTube challenge. The first 2 rounds of the challenge will be conducted virtually via the YouTube channel. Participants must adhere to the submission deadline specified in the notifications. Jermaine, tell them about the finale.
Yes, this is Mr. Jones, and the finale of the challenge will be live in-person event. Finalists will be selected based on their performance in the virtual rounds. A panel of celebrity industry insiders will serve as judges for the challenge. Judges will evaluate the performance based on various criteria, including the vocal talent, the stage presence, and the overall impact.
We look forward to receiving your inspiring a cappella performances and witnessing the power of your musical talents. Good luck to all participants in the Raise Your Mic Gospel, Christian, and Inspirational Singers and Songwriters Music Challenge. Hello, I'm Katrice Cornett, and I'm here to invite you to participate in the Raise Your Mic Gospel, Christian, and Inspirational Singers and Songwriters Music Challenge.
Hi, I'm Elaine Sanders Mayfield.
Going crazy.
Hello, I'm Katrice Cornett, and I'm here to invite you to participate in the Raise Your Mic Gospel, Christian, and Inspirational Singers and Songwriters Music Challenge.
Hi, I'm Elaine Sanders Mayfield, and I just want to give you some guidelines of who's eligible. The challenge is...
I have no idea what's going on, audience. This StreamYard is acting really crazy today. It's been acting crazy.
Welcome back.
But welcome back. We are back. And I guess they mad that we're coming back. Yes, we are back, and we're excited to be here. We are excited about what God has been doing. Oh my goodness, this summer we really did not, I don't know about you, but I didn't expect not to be able to do any interviews during the summer, but our schedule just was so crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. There was no way that we could have fit this in. So come on into the live, everybody. Say hello. Let us know where you are from. Hi. Who's that? Shani?
Shani. That's Shani. My beautiful niece.
Hi, Shani. come on in. Let us know where you're watching from. We are excited that you are here with us. We have an awesome guest tonight. Hello, Sharon. How are you?
Oh, Sharon Green's from New York. That's our other sister.
Yes. So, but before we get into our guests, we want to catch you guys up with what's been going on with Elaine and I and with the record label. And hey, Rachel, how are you? How you doing? Good to see you. Glad you're tuning in. And with all of the stuff that we had going on. So, Elaine, let me, you can start.
Well, first of all, our summer was crazy.
Yes.
I mean, I can go through the list, but I mean, I kind of mushed us together.
That's fine.
I'll just chime in. I'm telling you, you had the New Egypt Coffee House. You had, that was July 8th. You had the Wildwood Boardwalk Chapel.
Oh yeah, we did the board. That was so much fun. We did the chapel and boardwalk. We my band usually sings there every year, but this year I don't know, it was kind of cool because like you guys know, a lot of my band members, my singers, moved to North Carolina, but they came home so we could do the boardwalk chapel together. So it was great being
like a reunion.
Minister with them again. That was awesome. Yeah.
Speaking of reunion, my brother Bernard's on here.
Yeah.
My cousin Ann Fight from Tatum, Texas, is in the house.
Yeah.
She's on here.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, we love it. We have oh, you did David's Tent. Was that the first one I did?
Oh yeah, David's Tent. We did it. That was the beginning of June. We did that a whole weekend. That was awesome.
That was the beginning of June. Then we went to UMAC in Fort Lauderdale's the United Music and Arts Conference. The founder is Professor Craig Hayes. That was phenomenal. We did have a
we ended up. Okay, hey Pat, how are you? And Earl, how y'all doing? Good to see everybody coming in. So yeah, that was a whole mess. Look, and I will put them on blast because they tore up my luggage. They tore up my luggage. They canceled our flight. And you know what? I still have not gotten a response from Frontier for them messing up my luggage still to this day.
Good luck.
And we I know that's what John said. It's not happening.
Oh my goodness, Terrell Paul.
Yeah. That was a mess. We ended up having to stay over in Maryland, and then we caught another flight from Baltimore, Washington International Airport.
Took us to Baltimore,
Yep. Charles drove us down there, and then we ended up finally getting a flight from there on Spirit out to Florida. But it was it was really worth it all. I mean, it was amazing.
Yes, Katrice. What did you do?
I actually was the first time that I ever had a chance to teach one of my songs, an original song, to. They had an artist. What was it called? What did he call it? I don't want to call it the wrong thing.
I know.
He has a unique name for it. And it
was a unique name, and I hope he better coin it. He better.
He needs to coin that. But so I got to teach one of my original songs, "Forever God Reigns," which we released in 2021 in the artists session to the participants of the UMAC, and it was so amazing. We actually had 5 of us who were the first ones to actually do that at the conference, and all of the songs were good, really good.
Great songs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So kudos and thank you to Professor Craig Hayes.
Yes, thank you so much.
UMAC is going into his 3rd year. So if you're interested in going next year, it's July.
I stood isn't it the 18th that week?
18th, 16th, 17th, something like that.
Yeah, it's on my calendar.
Yep. Yeah. So anybody that's interested in going, we're going. We'll be, God willing, and the creek don't rise. What they say, the creek don't rise.
Yeah, we'll be there.
All that good stuff.
Yep. So that's great. So then Elaine and I were able to we are now officially international best-selling authors. Yes, I actually had a picture of that to show. And we were part of an anthology book called The Creatives Leadership, which actually hit Amazon and all the bookstores and stuff like that this summer as well. We both have a chapter in the book. So if you can go to Amazon and you can purchase it, or you can hit us up. We have copies. We all have copies. We both have
copies. You
yes.
want a copy? Come see me.
So we are international best-selling authors. Now, this is my first time being an author like that. I've written many songs, but I never wrote a book, like, you know, a part of that. So it was pretty cool, and it was really cool to be an international best-selling author the first time out.
Right.
Yeah.
And I got to talk about just things like, you know, we were talking about leadership. So it's all different folks, all different walks of life, and whatever kind of leadership position that you're in. Hey, Earl Jr., whatever type of leadership position that you're in, and you just kind of talk about, you know, what drives you to get to influence those that you're leading. So it's a great book. I would get it because there's people that are in the music field, people that are in the business field, or whatever kind of working environment.
Hey, Dottie, how are you? That's my cousin Dottie from Baltimore. How are you? Yeah, get the book, Dottie. You'll love it. Yvette was the head of it. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Katrice's sister, Yvette Owens.
Gathered us all together and got these people. Hi, Denise. How are you? Good to see
Denise.
you. She's in North Carolina.
Prayer must have been quick. She said she was getting off the prayer call.
Yes.
So let me tell you. So the other thing is, aside from ministry in our churches, Katrice has been doing ministry at First Nazarene.
First Nazarene. Yep.
With John Williams under his leadership.
Yeah.
And every now and again, I get to come in there and help them out. So I love it. Well, not help them out, but they allow me to come sing with them, and it's been wonderful. Yeah, that's been a great summer. But
I really had a good time at the service where we sang outside. That was fun.
Wonderful.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people came to Christ that day. They sang outside in the parking lot that Sunday. And I think they said amazing. They do it on the 5th Sundays or something like that.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah, that was really good. I had a great time.
Yes, they had a generation of all.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah.
So you saw different T-shirts. So the children were represented, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. So everybody had different T-shirts. Hey, Edna Pathé, I love you. I love this. Thank you, Terrell. The other thing that drove me, I'm not going to say it was one of my best things, believe it or not, out of everything that we had this summer, right? I have been watching Dear Future Wifey's podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Paris R. Whitfield, hilarious.
Greetings from Bermuda. Hi, Norma.
Norma from Bermuda. Hey, Norma, love you. We got to see Norma this year.
Yeah.
We went to Canada and we got to see the family. It was so wonderful. So wonderful. And Randy, her brother, our cousin, he slipped away this year, but I tell you, you couldn't do it any better than how he did it. Randy lived in Canada with his beautiful wife, Una, and his wonderful children. He's got Alex, Spencer, Quentin. I'm missing one. Ooh, there's a lot of them. I shouldn't have did that. Norma will type the names in there for me. But he decided to go home to Bermuda to spend his last days. And I mean, the shots that I saw were just amazing of the Bermuda waters. There's nothing like the Bermuda waters. Gosh. And he stayed with Melanie, his sister, and just some of the shots of just being able to get up every morning and look out over those waters was a blessing. Yeah. So we went back to Canada where he lived to give our respects. But like I said, I was watching Dear Future Wifey, which is hilarious. But let me tell you something. That Crystal Evans Hurst, I tell you, her podcast, Don't Quit, Decluttering, and When You Need to Let Go, and it goes on and on. She's got a lot of them, but I mean, she has been amazing. Let me get those sons right. Daniel, Peyton, Alex, Spencer, and Quentin. Oh,
Nice.
what a beautiful set of young men. Beautiful set of young men. God bless them. I love them. I love them. I love them. All right. I think that kind of wraps up. Uh,
Yes.
can you
The
think of
other
anything?
thing, the last thing is we've been in the studio so much
Oh, that's right.
that God has really been blessing THSA Records. We have so many new artists coming onto the label. We are excited about that. Elder Gloria should be coming out with a project this winter. Tina Guitar Blackman, she'll be coming out with the project actually in the next couple of weeks. Hers is going to be
Yes.
releasing this fall. Elaine will be coming out with a new project this fall. And
Yes.
I just actually released what I did was I repurposed a project that I did in 2015 and I added 2 new songs to it. Two of my newest singles to it, and it's called Ordain the Deluxe the Deluxe Edition. And what
Yes.
we did was we grabbed the songs that we like the most, that people seem to gravitate towards the most, and we put them on this project. And we released that for my birthday, which was last week, actually,
September
September the
12th.
12th. So it hit the digital platforms on September 15th. And so I'm excited about that and what God is going to do this time around. And I was reluctant to do it, but a lot of the prophetic words and that words that were spoken over my life over the last year was just do it again, do it again,
Yes.
and do it again. Like it was just like wherever I would go and somebody would, speak over me or speak into my life, it always had that message. Like, I know you tried it before, it didn't seem to work, just do it again. And so
Yeah.
with this project, that's what we did. And then I was blessed to be a finalist. And look, y'all, I just submitted the video because a friend of mine, a musician friend of mine, she reached out to me and she said, Katrice, I think your group would be great for this. And I didn't even see it. She saw the ad for WHYY TV. They did a thing called Lifting Our Voices in Praise, and it's a gospel competition. So I submitted a video of us singing one Easter during COVID. We were asked to minister at church, Brennan's dad's church in
Oh,
Clayton. Oh, what is the name
yes.
of it? I'm gonna get the name of it. I'm gonna put it up there. And so he recorded us. Of course, back then you were recording everything. So I just sent that video in because it was the most recent one that I had of the whole group that
Right.
was good enough to submit to anything. And we actually made it to the finals. And when they called me, they needed me to make a decision right then and there. And you know what? I'm learning that about this industry. They want, like, I need you now, or this and that, or whatever. And so it's kind of crazy. So I had to make a decision, and there was no way that I could get the group back up here in the time frame that they needed to record the finalists. And so I had to sing by myself, y'all. So I went I sang a song, an original song called Send Powers, actually on the new project that I just released. And they loved it. It was a great experience. I got to see some of my old friends and stuff like that. But WHYY, so keep a lookout because I guess they'll be showing that taping soon, and then they'll announce the finalists, and then we'll know, whether I made it to the finals. But I was just glad to be in that group. You know what I mean? So it was.
Yes.
I didn't expect that. I just sent it in because my
But you know
friend sent
what?
it to me.
It is a new season.
Yes,
It is a
yes,
new season, not just because it's the fall, it's a new season. So
yes,
God
it
is
is.
doing a new thing in a lot of people, and a lot of the people that I see that are chiming in. Hey, Kamani, good evening.
Yes,
Bishop Fulton Parham, hey there, we love you.
and he's
It is
down
a
in.
new
I
season,
don't,
so it's a new season for a lot of people.
I don't even know where Goose Creek, South Carolina is. That's where Bishop is. What's that near?
I never heard of it.
Me either. Never heard of it. But yeah, so we have been so busy, but we are excited to be back doing our interviews. We
Yes,
have we have them scheduled out till like December, November, and we're excited about the artists that you're going to be listening and hearing from. And tonight, I'm especially excited about our guest because I don't know about you. He said it's near Charleston, South Carolina.
oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, yeah. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love the Sanders, Dickson, all of that family. Since I met Elaine, they just have been so warm and receptive to me, and every one of them that I meet is always the same way, just so welcoming and open. And so tonight I am excited to have our guest, and I'm gonna let you finish introducing him, Elaine.
We have my nephew Tim, who went on a trip to Africa, and I put on my post that I put a picture of my parents because today's their anniversary, September 19th, and I love when we're able to do memorable things on great landmark dates.
Yes.
So this is specifically wonderful because Tim is going to talk to us, and he's joined by his brother, and I can't wait to hear that whole story of why they went separately and didn't go together. Hey, Patty Hicks.
Hi, Patty.
So we're going to hear how his trip was, his journey to Africa, and which different cities he went to visit. But I'm excited about that, and what a better way to start than to remember where we've come from, to know where God is moving us forward. But I'm so grateful that it's on this day, my parents' anniversary, because they are, we're part of their legacy, and truly, my parents have poured so much into us. So I'm grateful for that. So Tim Dickson,
hello,
and I don't know if Sean's going to be on there now. Hey, Reverend Jackie Bailey Moore. So I don't know if Tashawn's going to be with Tim, or what's the deal.
Unmute your mic, Tim. There you go. Unmute. Unmute.
Mute.
There we go. Say something now. No. Why can't we hear you?
Well, I don't know why we can't hear you.
You can't hear us either?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? No.
We can't hear you either. Go out and come back in.
Go out and come back in. You know what's great? They can read lips. A lot of there's very few of us that can't read lips. Ryan Toby, I love you. How are you?
We're doing good, Reverend Jackie. We hanging in there.
We're doing great.
Yeah, still trying to keep it moving. While Tim's coming back in,
Tim's gonna log back in because we couldn't hear him.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my StreamYard. I'm really gonna have to call them, because I'm telling you, I prayed through that whole last live with Chastity. I was praying, don't let it go out. Don't let it go out. Yeah.
And you've got so many things going on. In
I
addition
really needed to work right.
Right. In addition to this whole side of the business, you have the other side, which you have the curse stops here. So you're doing a platform which is full circle. When you talk about the curse stops here, you are talking to mental health specialists, you're talking to financial specialists, you're talking to ministers. Who else are you going to be talking to? And there's a whole schedule.
We have leaders in business and corporate America coming on. We have a pastor, Ralph Graves Jr. He'll be on with us. He actually is a transformational coach.
Wow.
And and he's amazing. And then we have Monique Pfeiffer. She is a person who helps people who feels like they've been silenced by depression or death or grief, how to find their voice. Her business does that. And of course, Pat will be on. She's my finance expert. But the curse here is was birthed because it's time out for us doing the same thing the same old way, and we need to put off some of those old traditional habits that we pick up because somebody said this about us or somebody told us this was the way it was supposed to be, and live purposely for the way God designed us each to live. And we're all unique individuals. He says we are wonderfully and uniquely made. Right. So you're not supposed to be a carbon copy of somebody else. So
Yes.
what you know what I mean? So
Yes.
all of that and social media and stuff makes you feel that way. You
Stop
know,
comparing yourself to other
that's
people.
right. Exactly. You are perfect just the way you are.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have a
Go look up
purpose.
the definition of unique.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Is
Exactly.
Tim back in your queue or?
No, he's not back yet.
Oh,
See what's going on with that.
all right. Let me text him.
Yeah.
Don't leave. Hang in there, everybody. Don't leave us. This is going to be a great conversation.
Conversation. Yeah, absolutely. So while he's doing that, those of you who know anybody who is looking to get into here he is into this music industry, y'all need to get them to do the raise your mic competition. It's nothing like a regular competition. We're just looking for new artists that we can help. Can you speak?
Yes.
Say something now, Tim.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes,
Hey,
yes.
Touchdown. Touchdown, Eagles. I don't want to hear any Dallas.
I'm Dallas. Y'all
Touchdown,
see my
Eagles.
earrings? I'm Dallas. I'm been Dallas forever.
And
we're
to
football
Sean
fans. We're football
is
fans.
Buccaneers, right?
Yes.
Right,
Yes,
that's right. Go Tampa.
Oh, are you? You Tampa?
Tampa Bay.
Okay.
He's a diehard fan. So we talked about Tim. So here's his younger brother, to Sean, and we're gonna start with Tim because he went first.
There you
But
go.
then we'll tie you in to Sean. All right.
Yes.
So here you have it, folks. These are my two handsome nephews, my sister Patricia Dickson and Tim Dickson Sr. Did you tag your dad?
My dad don't have Facebook.
He's not on social platforms.
Yeah,
So Tim Dickson Sr. These are his sons, and they've always raised them. First of all, they've always traveled with their sons, which is great. So they're not afraid to travel. And then who knew? My sister, she likes to get up and go. Their dad likes to get up and go. And who knew that bug would bite them because they just will go. Hey, Corey Shipley, we love you. They will just get up and go.
Hey, Shani.
So I know you see Shani and Terrell Paul and Ryan Toby's on here and Earl Jr.
What up, family?
So when we heard about Tim going to Africa, we were like, what? So tell us how that came about.
Growing up, you hear about Italian Americans, and Italians talk about Italy. You hear about people from Ireland. And so I had, as an African American, I had that yearning, that desire to learn about my Africanness.
Right.
My Africanness. And
Heritage,
I was like, there's a piece of me that's missing. I've always yearned out. So you hear about it historically, and I started reading to gain more knowledge. One of the first books I bought was The Destruction of the Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. And that gave me a timeline from the present till our ancient history. Just drew a timeline that kind of explained like each portion of history. So that yearning for history and knowledge had always been there. And then to your point, Mom and Dad, thank you, Mom and Dad, always instilled in us to, be ready to go. And we try, we get up and go at the drop of a dime. You feel like it? I feel like it. Yeah.
That's what's up.
They've always been like that.
So it's definitely a thing when we follow our spirit and just follow. That was another portion of growing into manhood. It was following my own spirit, following what I felt was the right thing to do. And that guidance, being instilled in church early on and just, understanding who God was to me and having my own personal relationship and following that into manhood and following that, just listening to your spirit, man.
Oh yeah, you gotta listen.
Yeah.
Move
Yeah.
when they say move. So
Yeah.
that was a portion of it. And then the blanket was my brother-in-law, Diallo. He had been there for several years, and he had constantly been in my ear, bro. You need to get over here. Like, you should come learn, man. Like, it's a lot of history, it's a lot of culture here. Like, so
Mahiri as well too.
Mahiri, yeah.
Mahiri, both Diallo, Mahiri. I mean, always encouraging us to get over there, bro. What do I have to do? Whatever you want to do, just get there. And that's how they would talk to it. That's how they would just, simplify it as, much as they could. Just get there.
Yeah, the stars couldn't align any better.
Yeah.
For you guys to go. So Tim goes by himself. He doesn't go with Tashawn. He goes by himself.
Yep. I said the opportunity presented itself, and I had to do a couple things before I went. I had to get my it was a measles prescription and a yellow fever shot.
Oh, okay, so they do this.
So that was interesting because I'm thinking I could go to my doctors and get like a shot. They don't carry that in our healthcare system. You have to go to a private organization to get shots when you're traveling outside the country. So that was a fee, but it was a step. Getting your passport is actually another step,
Yes.
And it was like, all right, D, I found a ticket. The flight, I flew from JFK in New York right into Accra, Ghana. It was a direct flight on Delta Airlines.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
10-hour flight.
10 hours.
It was 10 hours. And we sleep most of the time. So it was like a red eye, but you can also, you're fed twice on the flight itself.
Okay.
Dinner, and then you have breakfast in the morning.
Okay.
So that all of that was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm going. And my first international trip, I wanted it to be, to Africa, because I've always yearned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always yearning that sense of our Africanness. Like when we check boxes on jobs, African American, we say African American so loosely, but we American
loosely, yes,
but with no real understanding of what our Africanness was. So.
Yeah.
Right. So what happens when you land?
When I land, it was like an overwhelming, grounding feeling, right? That I am on this land, and I kissed the ground, like I am back. And the people are like, Akwaba, welcome home.
Oh my Lord.
Akwaba. Every face I seen. So coming from America, we've dealt with systematic racism, and then we come back to Africa, and then you feel like that sense of we welcome home. Like,
yeah.
How do they know that you're a tourist? I mean, you just look like an American.
Yeah, I looked American coming off the plane, but after when they hear you speak,
they know.
They know. They speak. It's pronounced. It's spelled TWI, but it's pronounced tree. So that's the language that they speak.
Yeah.
In Ghana. That's the most common. That's one of the common languages.
Wow.
Out of all the dialects that they speak, they negotiate in tree. And
let's bring Tashawn up to speed. So Tashawn, why did you go, and what was your feeling once you landed?
Well, when Tim went in June, I pretty much heard and call me every day. I need to see what's going on. I need to see Africa from your phone, from your point of view. And Big Bro encouraged me to make it happen, and the stars aligned up, and it was, you know, the opportunity presented itself, and I was there. So I mean, again, it was watching him there every day. Like when I tell you, I called him, and there's a 4-hour time difference. So you know, I'm waking up, you know, 4 o'clock in the morning just to talk to him because it's 8 in the morning there, so I can see what it looks like. Yeah.
So you had that same kind of feeling. Did you feel like I'm home? Did you feel the love?
Yeah. So even when once I landed in Ghana, and just checking, I'm at the immigration where they're checking your information, they're checking your passport, they're checking your yellow fever information,
your shots,
making sure everything is legit, you know, situated, and you know everything is right. And after checking that, the brother looks at me and says, "Welcome home, brother." Just like that, and it's just
that just does something to me.
It's immediate, you know, immediate. Like I feel great. I feel good. I don't have no worries. I mean, and then of course, you know, with Diallo being there, he already had people on standby waiting. When I tell you, like,
you didn't want for nothing.
You didn't want, like, I didn't carry my bag the whole time I was there. I didn't carry nothing. I didn't need want for nothing. Like.
Wow.
And it's not like they're doing it because they're wanting to get something from you. They're just genuinely.
It's a genuineness that's
it's totally
unmatched.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is hospitality, not like coming to my home. It's hospitality. Welcome home to this country.
Yes.
So this is your home.
Yeah.
So they're hosting you. That is incredible.
They are happy that we are returning. That stereotype of, you know, all Africans don't like Americans, African Americans.
That's a stereotype.
That's so untrue. It's so
that's all a myth.
All of it. Wow. They are happy that we are returning or coming back, and
even curious to know about.
Yes,
our African heritage.
Wow. What we think where we actually you know, we haven't even done the work. You know, we know our Indian side, but we don't know our real African roots.
Yes.
So you're all excited. You're home. You know, it's all that. It's the food. It's the people. But then you decide to do this trip down history. You decide to go to the historical part, and that's the other thing that's really telling, is because it's not like it's a happy history that you're about to embark on. Thank you, Jim.
Correct.
It really isn't.
So it's not a you're about to really dig into some. I mean, you're literally about to walk and embark on walking the grounds of your ancestors. You know, going through the motions. So tell us about that, because Tashawn had his own experience and Tim had his own experience. So how did they do that? Especially being in Africa, here comes somebody and takes you from your own land.
So it was one of the tour spots that we went to, the Asan Manso River. ANSO, I think I'm saying that. MONSO. ASSAN, I'm sorry, ASSAN, Asan Manso River is where the slaves were. It was their last bathing.
Jesus.
So picture you in your home and you being kidnapped and taken from your home, marched on foot to the coast of Ghana. On the way, Asan Manso River, where they fed us, bathed us for the last time, and fed us like 2 or 3 meals to fatten us up, sell us, right? And at that Asan Manso River, Brother Kwame, who was our tour guide, he had us take off our shoes, and there was a connection with your feet touching the soil. And
I was going to ask you that. Did you ever take your shoes off while you were there?
Yes,
that would have been the first thing I did, so my feet could feel the ground.
Touch the ground.
Question. Yep.
Yes, your feet touch the ground, and the walk to the river, they ask you to, just think about your ancestors and think about, kind of get your feelings, deal with your feelings as you're feeling them. Feel your feelings. And it was amazing. Like, you start to understand, like, that walk that they took. Can you picture yourself being snatched from your home and had to bathe and walk for miles? For us, geographically, from the Burlington County, imagine walking from Burlington County to Atlanta County, AC, to the beach, to be shipped off to never return.
And
so
go ahead.
That was the first, that history there, and in the river and actually bathing, I bathed my head and my hands and my limbs in the river itself. You felt that return of, like, I am their dream. I'm my ancestors' dream. I have returned from what they experienced. And I've returned home. And it was truly grounding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Had to be emotional as well.
Oh, very emotional.
Yes.
I personally broke down in tears while bathing in the water. Just feeling that connection again. Even every step I took, you can just feel them talking to you.
Yeah.
Speaking to you. Because it's very quiet. It's not, you don't have any distractions. I don't have my cell phone in my hand. No distractions, and you can hear your ancestors speaking to you, saying, "Thank you for coming back home." Thank you for coming back home.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then upon leaving the river, Auntie Elaine, it was special. It was, for us, we signify. I'll let you explain the significance of butterflies, but a bunch of butterflies, as I returned from the river, just started flying around me back to where the car was. So I'm like, "Hey, grandmother."
My mother loved butterflies, so we all have butterflies, whether it's male or females. We all have that significance. And ever since my mother passed, we are always, whether it's a white butterfly or any butterfly, we've had butterflies literally land on our hand. And it's been graduations, all these significant events, weddings, a butterfly would show up. So that was telling as well, that you're over here and here comes this
slew of butterflies.
Of butterflies.
Flying around.
Wow.
So that was significant for me. And I was just, dealing with your emotion. And then we were taken to the next tourist spot was everyone likes, the tourist spot was the castle, where the dungeons were, where the slaves were kept. And that takes you on a roller coaster of emotions. Imagine being in a dungeon with 250 women or 250 men and all your excretion in one room, where the only sunlight that was coming in is about 18 feet high.
Wow.
That's the only sunlight and or wind or breeze that's coming in, and you're literally locked in a dungeon until that ship arrives to ship you out to God knows where. Well, now we know where the first stop was, the Caribbean. So it went from Ghana to the Caribbean to the States.
Wow.
And back to England. The Atlantic slave trade.
Yeah.
Terrell Paul said they called that the departure. And when they arrived, once they went to the Caribbean and then they arrived in Charleston, South Carolina, that was arrival. And it's so true. They left with African names, but then they had to adopt American names. So that is a true fact.
Yeah.
So tell us about that significant story, because, it's so funny. Like you said, everything is rooted in our faith, but it's just so amazing how you felt. You just like, okay, I've got to get this this, I'm all in my feelings. I've got to get this feeling of heaviness off of me. So you went to this other ocean or this other river, right?
Well, I was from the dungeon. After experiencing the dungeon, again, you're going to experience all the emotion. It's a roller coaster. You're going to feel helpless. You're going to feel sorrow. You're going to feel angry. You're going to feel bitterness. You're going to feel those emotions that, you want to escape. Like for the men who thought, well, I would have just fought and bucked the system. Yeah, they had a special dungeon for you. There's a dungeon where the heat was so significant that it would suffocate you. And they would put you in there with 25 other tough guys. So you guys had to battle it out. And it was the dungeon of no return. They expected you to die in that dungeon. They wanted you to die in that dungeon. So the mental anguish that occurred in that place. And to top it off, above it was an Anglican church. And they had church above these dungeons. So it was a mental anguish that I'm sure that our ancestors endured.
Right.
That just set you on fire, like again with all your emotions.
Do you remember the brother explaining that how they took one young African at the age of maybe like 3 or 4, shipped him off to England to learn the Bible, only to come back to now teach the other slaves and other white people on not even white people, just the slave masters pretty much teach them the Bible. So now you have a black African
who's educated,
but this is trained up though,
right.
They sent him away at he's 3 years old. He doesn't. He didn't know.
She has the African.
Yeah.
She has an African name and everything. She used to go to Africa a lot. My sister Yvette, who just said that, and she said the church above it just baffled her.
It just baffled her.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you've got one thing going on up here, and then you got all this going on down here, and it's not right. We know it's not right.
We know it's not right. We know it's not right. So after that, dealing with that emotions, I went back to the resort, and at the I forgot the name of the resort that fast. But the resort was the ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and the waves crashing was so soothing to me that it brought me peace. The way I just sat there and kind of like just sat with myself and sat with my feelings and just watched the waves. And then one of my big cousins, Demetrius, was like, walk backwards into the ocean and then come out of the ocean to the land again. And that's yours, that's truly, there's a significance in that. And I just followed this lead. I didn't know what it was, but it gave me a sense of soothing peace while they're at the while they're listening to the ocean. And I said, I gotta stay here another night.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But
like
you experienced a God wink when you met the young man that was your server. So
yeah, so after coming off that emotional downstraw of the dungeon, I was like, I'm gonna keep it real. I need a drink, so I went and got a drink. And at the bar, it was a young man who I met, and he was just very hospitable. And I told him where I was coming from and what I was dealing with. He was like, he's like, I understand how you feel. I understand how you feel. So he got to talking, and ice is a commodity there. So they had ice packs like in these little plastic bags where they froze, and they had water in, and they would freeze them. So he was like, I'll bring some ice back to your room for you. So we get to exchanging names, and I said, what's your name, man? He's like, Augustine. And then he said, Augustine Dickson. And I'm like, say what? Yeah, Augustine Dickson. My last name spelled the same exact way as our last name, Dickson.
Wow.
This young man, his name is Augustine Dickson, spelled the same way. I'm in West Africa on Cape Coast, Ghana. And I haven't met another Dickson in the United States. So,
right. Yeah,
it's always a comparison. It's like a Dixon, but
or
I can count on the one hand how many Dicksons I've met in the United States. So to come in Ghana and meet this young man, and his last name is Dickson, and he's just 21, trying to work his way up. He said there are a lot of Dicksons there. We have many, many families there.
Incredible.
It was like, I gotta call my mom. Like, I gotta call my parents. Like, I just met a Dickson. I'm baffled. I'm calling my brother, like, bro, you would not believe this. And that soothing turned into now that joy. Like, it was the return of that joy. Like, I haven't done the heritage yet. That's next on my to-do list with the African ancestry. But to trace your roots and to have somebody add the same last name, it blew me away.
Yeah,
that was one of the things I also I was excited about. Like, just even walking around the mall or walking around anywhere, you would see so many familiar faces. Like, I couldn't believe. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, is that Terrell or is that Ryan? Like, I'm seeing my friends' faces there. Because we all, and just that was just again an exciting thing to see. Even the billboard. I mean, everything is black, man.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Yeah.
Black.
Yeah.
And you mentioned just like you heard and I caught that was a profound thought as well, because when we start to see each other and you see the faces, it's like, wow, this is really home. This is where we come from.
Yeah.
But you also mentioned malls, and your mother said, they have this concept that, Africa is a bunch of huts and all this stuff, but it is very, very evolved. It's an incredible cities. It's rich. It has all that. And she said that's a myth. And we know that it's very, very modern. And that's the part that you don't get to see, but
to your point, to explaining that, like, the cities, like Accra is comparison to New York, and then once you get outside naturally to the rural areas, the huts, and you see people surviving just off the farm and the land. But Ghana is one of the most built cities, country. And they have the internet is good there, like the infrastructure they're still building, but you have your range of the very rich to the very poor.
Just like here. Because you can go somewhere.
But they're like, welcome home, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
here they don't want us. Here they don't want us. Yeah.
So if we were, that led me to another tour site with W.E.B. Du Bois Museum, or is his center there. So to explain that, I had went to the Black Star. It's a monument where typically Africans weren't allowed to come to this area. The Black Star. It's a large, spacious area right by the water. But the history of it, in 1958, 59, 60, they were warring. Ghanaians had joined to fight against the British, or fight with the British against somebody else. The British reneged on their benefits, as far as like how are they going to pay soldiers and giving them health benefits and stuff like that they were promised, and it started an all-out war. Riots occurred, and then they wind up killing 2 soldiers that had fought for the British there.
Wow.
And once that happened, the riots, everybody was like, oh no, that's it. Like, we're fighting for our country, and they basically fought and got their freedom. So Ghana got their freedom, gained their freedom in the 1959, 56, 59, 60. The sitting president, President Nkrumah, had reached out to W.E.B. Du Bois and sent him a letter because he had forward thoughts and forward thinking on how to move our people forward.
Mm-hmm.
And W.E.B. Du Bois responded, came, and advised him for a while. And they had, I got a little document.
Yeah, he was an influencer before they came up with the word influencer.
Okay,
right.
We can see it.
So this is Ghana. Yeah. This is Ghana money.
Okay.
And these six gentlemen here,
wow,
were the founding fathers who kind of brought Ghana, gave them structure to their freedom and their independence of the democracy.
Yeah.
So they're on the money of Ghana money.
Mm-hmm.
The six founding fathers, and President Nkrumah is in the top. Well, you'll have to Google it. But
we can see it. It showed up good on the camera.
Yeah, it did. Showed up very well.
And he, again, he was advised by W.E.B. Du Bois, and that knowledge in itself is just. So they built him a compound. In return, the president built him a compound in Ghana, in Accra, and where he lived, and he died. A lot of people don't know that he died right there in that compound.
Yeah, I didn't know he died there.
93.
I
I believe he was 93 years old, and still writing one more book. He was finishing up another book.
And so his personal library, like you get to visit his personal library and see where he slept and who his wives were. And it was just so much history and culture. Learning that gave me a sense of like, all right, I can put this in that time frame, 58 to 62.
Yeah.
62 to, and then knowing our stories from our grandfather, our grandfather fought in World War II. Our grandfathers were in the Navy and in the Army. So that gave me a significance of like, wow, I want to honor my grandfathers.
Yes.
I want to honor my grandfathers here at the W.E.B. Du Bois Center. And I was able to do that, and it was.
We have a clip.
Yes.
We have a clip we're going to show.
That's what I was going to say. Tim and Tashawn brought back some wonderful, wonderful gifts that I'll cherish forever. Beautiful, beautiful gifts. I mean, they loaded themselves down. They bought the city out. And I love the chocolate. It's delicious. I gave Katrice.
Very good. They were very good.
And I have my artwork to be framed, and I've received some other wooden pieces. But to actually leave a mark like this is just incredible. To know that you've done something and practically did like a full circle. You recognize the shoulders that we all stand on. And now that's not just a saying. You actually lived it and felt it.
Yeah.
That, you're a product of those shoulders. And if it had not been for their journey, we wouldn't be where we are today. So we take a lot for granted because we don't know the blood, sweat, and tears they really went through. But you both got to experience the waters, and you got to experience seeing the dungeons. Lying in each other's
contradictions between the church and the dungeons
and all that,
all of that kind of
being
stuff.
stolen from your own land,
and they're still doing it to us today. They want to say one thing and make us believe another, but when you know where you come from, they can't fool you. You know what I mean? Like when you know what your history is, you can't be fooled. So you can say what you want to say. I know what is true.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that was another thing. Like, imagine, our young today don't know who we are. We don't know who we are as
clueless.
So this was another opportunity for me. I'm like, I can share my experience, but also want to encourage others to go. Like, and go get that knowledge of who yourself is. Know yourself. The Bible says, know thyself.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So everybody hang in there. We want to show this clip. Are we ready to show this clip?
Yes, I'm ready. I want to clear the screen so that it plays right. I don't want to take no chances. So I'm going to remove you guys and then bring you back. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
We have Tim here, our brother, coming back to the motherland, and he did a very exceptional thing by putting, the names of people that he wants to honor. And as you can see, there's an inscription here that says we are the first and dreams of our ancestors. So Tim, first of all, can you please explain to us who these people are and how much they mean to you?
These two people that I suggested are my grandfathers. They were the foundation of our family. They worked hard. They loved hard, and I'm the product of their hard work.
You are the product of their hard work. Okay, so we are going to unveil the Sankofa wall. A great congratulations to you once again that you brought them back home. And so by the count of 3 we would unveil this. So we do it together. 1, 2, and 3. How do you feel?
It's an overwhelming feeling. It's a feeling of joy, and it honors them, and I appreciate this. So my family and friends, they would come see our grandfather, our father, on the wall at DAF, at the W.E.B. Du Bois Museum, Accra, Ghana. Get here.
That brings us to the end of the ceremony, and thank you very much for coming and for honoring the name of your late Mary Dickson and Cleveland Sanders.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're very much welcome.
And I look forward to hearing more from DAF and how we can help the African diaspora to move forward with countries like Ghana and other countries. You know, we didn't know. We're just learning our history. And we want to help push it forward. All right?
Thank you very, very, very much for such a great heart to support the motherland.
Absolutely.
Whew.
Man, oh man.
That does something to me.
Hold up. Let me fix this. Okay. Good. Say something, Elaine.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Can you hear us?
Yes. Everybody's back. Yep. Good.
Did everyone see that incredible video? And
oh man, the comments were coming in, but I was scared to put them up because my neck, I didn't want it to go out. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm so grateful. Tim could have put his name up there.
That's
but
right.
To go back and put his grandfather's names is just such an incredible, like you've left a legacy that will stand the test of time. And it'll be there for whoever else goes and sees Daddy's name and sees Meredith Dickson. And then when I saw your grandfather's name, I thought of Uncle Murdy, who was named after his dad. And, I thought of your dad, who has always been, into his African heritage. I mean, your dad was one of the first people that I knew that actually celebrated Kwanzaa, And for everything that Daddy went through, I mean, Daddy, just kind of played his life by ear. He had to quit school to help his mother to earn money to live. And so he quit school in 8th grade, and he didn't get his diploma. He got his GED when he went into the Army. So now you're talking 18, and you're finally getting your
Yeah.
GED. He got that around, believe it or not, he got it in his 20s. Daddy got his GED in his 20s, but he never stopped pressing. But that's such a wonderful, wonderful tribute to both your grandparents, because truly we are a product of them. And it's just so beautiful that you left that landmark. We actually have a landmark in
Ghana. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Incredible.
Yep.
Because it's not about me. It's not about us, right? It's our family, our rich history, how we were raised on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, there was culture, there was history, there was the gospel, there was, you know, the love of God, and even for our friends, you know what I mean? Like, be that example, be the example. And,
yes.
And that's what we sought out.
And that wall said, "We are the hopes and dreams of our
ancestors." Yep. Yep. That was huge. That's big. That's really big. And to I think it's Shani, to her point, it's a shame that the young people, they just don't know who they are, and that's why they're just lost. And I've never been to Africa, but I have family members who have. We were raised like you guys, with a rich culture, with a rich history on both sides. We used to celebrate Kwanzaa. I didn't even know what it was. We were so young, I couldn't even understand what was going on. But I was sharing with Elaine and them today how even the games that we were allowed to play, we had Black History trivia. We had Black History. I mean, it was just like ingrained in you, you know. And so everybody may not be able to take a trip to Africa, but those of us who know need to. The difference between then and now is they didn't have a problem with telling stories. Tell the story.
Oh,
moving.
Yes.
That's how they kept it. They couldn't write. They wouldn't let them read. They told the stories. We don't want to talk to each other. We don't want to talk about it. We act like we're ashamed. I'm proud to be a Black American, a Black woman. I'm proud of who I am and where I come from. So continue to tell the stories, you know. And some of it's hurtful and some of it makes you angry and stuff like that. But if we don't tell the stories, then the young people they won't know. They won't know.
And I think that's what was so emotional for me, Katrice. Not only that it was, you know, my nephews and my father's name and their other grandfather's name, but the fact that, you know, they're the future. So they've got to carry that on, and they do. They carry it on to their children.
Yes.
And to their children will carry it on to their children's children, because it's organic to them. It's natural to them to know this information. So I'm so grateful and blessed that, you know, my nephews who are young are still young are still getting that out there, you know, and not letting the history die. And to your point, they're telling the story. They're doing it the old-fashioned way.
Yes.
Let me tell you about my trip to Africa. They're doing it the old-fashioned way, you know.
Exactly. Tashawn, your mom said, how did you feel when you saw your grandfather's names? Your mom just put that in the post. How did you feel?
Oh, yeah, it was, again, emotions, just driving there, knowing what I was getting ready to see. Even though I had to do the tour of the compounds, I was almost kind of rushing the guy to get there. I'm like, hurry up. Like, I know all this, but I didn't want to rush him too much. But at the same time, I was excited. And she was like, I said, listen, the same young lady that did
the film
introduction, did the tour, you know, and presented the names, was there when I was there.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
So she was like, she looked at me. She was like, wait, so I said, your brother was here? I was like, yeah. She was like, wait, I think I remember him. And she was like, you know where the names are? I'm like, yep, right down here. I'm walking right to
yeah.
Because again,
now was there a lot of other names after where Tim put? Have there been more a lot of names added or no?
Oh, no, she's asking after. No. Actually, it was still that same. I think it was George Floyd and Breonna.
When I saw those names, George Floyd,
those names were still there. Yeah, those
Wow.
names were still there. Nobody else had been there or put up any other names since then.
Yes.
And that was from June to August.
Yes.
Wow.
So that goes to tell you that this is just not like some
tourist
passing fancy.
Tourists do when they go.
Touristy thing. Yes.
This is huge.
A lot of Africans that live there in Ghana haven't even been to the Anson River. They don't.
The Anson Manso River.
The Anson Manso River. Like, they don't, I would talk to them about it. They're like, oh, I heard about it, but I've never been there. Because they didn't go through.
They suffer from colonialism.
Right.
We suffer from systematic racism.
Yeah.
From colonialism, and then they had tribalism.
Yeah.
Amongst themselves. So there was that knowledge.
Yeah.
And they, again, to your point, Katrice, telling the story, right?
Yeah.
They heard about it, through their grandmothers, but they hadn't seen it. So imagine tapping in. For me, it was like tapping in the 400 years of history and culture that we've missed out on.
Yeah.
That we never knew.
Yeah.
So that 400 to 500 years of history and culture, one of the things is like, Diallo told me, all right, when we go in this room, we're going to start from the right to the left, shaking hands. When I introduce you, you start. Mm-hmm. It's considered disrespectful if you go
do it the other way. Yeah.
So start the room. You work your way through the room from right to left. And it's a sign of respect. So that's a cultural thing that I had no idea about it.
I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Danielle said she's gonna go now. She wants.
I was getting ready to say, y'all got people on here talking about that. They want to go.
Please do.
So to that point, there is a site we can go on, meetmeinafrica.com. Go to that site, meetmeinafrica.com. It's just that simple. Diallo has started a company, and along with other tourist companies, and they just want to get our people there. Like, it's time, get the knowledge, make the trip, and they're called birthright journeys. I commend Diallo for that, and always encouraging him, Mahiri, and Mama McKinney. Like, they always encouraged us to read, know our history, and it was just meetmeinafrica.com. Meet us there.
Also, I want to say our cousin Demetrius Ransom.
Yes.
Went to Gambia, and he spent 30 days in Gambia.
Wow.
And that was another encouraging moment. Like, again, he would call me. He would send me videos.
He called me every day. Like, hey, cuz, I'm just tapping in. How you loving that son?
And he's actually on his way back
really?
To Sierra Leone come November.
Oh.
Yeah. He actually did the ancestry, so he's part Sierra Leone, Ghana. So he's going back to get his citizenship.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there are pathways to citizenship there. And again, meetmeinafrica.com.
Yeah. Terrell, Paul is saying it's not too different from where we grew up. I know people that never left Wilbur section or never left Brooklyn. And I get the concept that he's saying, but this is saying, that's just like you living in Trenton and never leaving Trenton. But here's the thing. Everybody that's here in the United States of African-American descent, their actual roots started where you guys went.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about. If it had not been for those folks that came, and then, we're just talking about the torture they went through and being stripped from their homeland. And then, you have the whole slavery thing and escaping and all of that so that we would have the freedom that we have today. So it is much different, Terrell. It's much different than never leaving where you've been, because if it had not been for our ancestors, we would not be sitting in the seats that we're sitting in today.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to thank you, gentlemen, for coming on and sharing your story. It's been such a blessing.
It is.
Our listeners have been blessed. I've been blessed. I'm encouraged. And like Tim and Tashawn was saying, if you can get there, get there. You know, make a plan. Check out the website, meetmeinafrica.com. And I'm sure they have all the information that you need to gather and stuff like that. And make it happen if you can get there. I have a lot of friends in Durban, South Africa. I actually was on a Zoom today with a young lady from South Africa. And so, yeah, I actually graduated from a prophetic school. I went online from Africa. My teacher was in Africa. So that's one of my goals, to get there. Yeah.
And I encourage my brother. He wrote a book, The Repatriation. Let me put my hand. The Repatriation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, move your finger.
Yeah, you can grab this on Amazon.
Okay.
It's a complete guide of what you need, your whole experience, and with YouTube links that you can visit, and it has a ton of information. The Repatriation Guide.
Okay.
It's excellent book. It's an excellent read, and it just gives you a sense of what you need of security when you're traveling there.
Oh,
okay.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Also, BET Plus. If you guys have BET Plus, you can also go in there and see. He did the renaming ceremony for Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's still, you can pull that up on BET Plus.
And it's a visual aid of what we experienced. At the Asamanso River and the dungeon, you get to see Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union experience the same thing.
Yes.
Okay.
On Xfinity, I always watch channel 1629. 1629, it's all African. It's just an Africa channel, and it goes through different cities, and it has, might have some movies, but every now and then it's mostly 30-minute clips of, see our city. So it's a beautiful historical channel. Mm-hmm. But everyone is so proud of you. We're getting so many different comments. Yes. They said this was a blessing. Thank you for sharing your story. I'm so glad that you guys got to do it together with your different experiences. And it really, really was something else. It'll be on YouTube, so everybody can see it forever. You can tell folks where it is on YouTube.
Yes, and go look at it. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much. Everyone
said it was Thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely. This was such a blessing.
Look, thank you for having this port where we can share the information.
Yes. Yeah. Glory to God. Yes, absolutely.
That's the way to kick it off.
We will be back, everybody, October the 9th. Hold on. October 9th. And
I had every note but that.
Wait, let me look. We'll be back. I'm sorry, October the 3rd with our guest Lorenz Johnson. He is a young man who they actually just did a debut single, and I met him through UMAC. And so we're excited that he'll be our guest on October the 3rd. So don't mark your calendars. And if you can, go out and get his CD. It's called, what's the name of his new song, Elaine?
I don't know, but it's so good.
Wait, I just looked at it.
I know.
I'll put it up on the I'm gonna post
it up on the page. It's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it on the page.
You can see our age is showing through, right?
I should have wrote it down like you did.
You know that song, "The God is Good," and it's great.
It's God is great, something like that. But we thank you.
He's a wonder-working God.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. We thank you for tuning in. We love you all. Please, if you can get to Africa, do it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to the Dickson boys, the Dickson brothers, or Elaine,
reach out. Feel free.
Yes,
Dickson on all social platforms.
You're on all social. Same thing on all social platforms.
Yeah. Dickson on all social.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
And that's the beauty of this. We don't just interview artists. We interview authors.
Yes.
And just like this, if you've done something incredible, an incredible trip, because no matter what it is, all ties back to God's goodness and his mercy.
Yes.
To allow you to do it, experience it, and get back safely. And that's what we're grateful for.
Absolutely.
As Ryan Toby said, if it had not been
that's right.
for the Lord on my side,
that's right.
Where would I be? Amen.
Yeah. So good night, everybody. And we'll see you on October the 3rd at 7 p.m. right back here, THSA Records. Live interviews with Katrice and Elaine. We love you and thank you for tuning in.
You.
May grace and peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.